halt to walk transition is so simple and needs to be simple. But there's probably, for every quote course person you take, they probably have a different way to do it, and they don't think about it. And it needs to be thought of it. There needs to be a uniformity in the training. Why will a horse know a forward driving aid later on if it isn't like the forward driving aid he began with? What I make sure is present in the halt to walk transition is the following. I am seated with my weight down, with my weight on their hips. And number two, I release the handbrake. That's how the major would say it. So I make sure there is no rein, that the horse definitely feels that I have released the handbrake. And then comes the instruction for walk, which can be the voice saying the word walk, or it can be the window pane, which I know you already understand. Or if neither of those work, then I would use my leg at the girth, which to most people is going to feel like using your leg very far forward. Both legs, real quick. And legs are not thighs. Legs are only legs. Legs are boots. And if that then didn't work, then I would, actually I think I'd give them a little punch with both spurs. And whip lastly. Because I sort of like to reserve the whip for pointing things out rather than a simple thing like walk. So here I have talked about 3 minutes for a 2-second transition. But it really is important. Too many horses tighten their whole body in response to the whip. They don't know the whip means pick up your legs. That's another reason why those jambette steps are so important. I also want to make a distinction here between the halt to walk transition and what I call the carbonating transition, which really prepares them for half halt. In a carbonating transition, which is it's like shaking up the beer can or shaking the champagne bottle before we uncork it, I would use the clicking sound instead of the walk, instead of the word walk. And that will be how the horse can discern whether I'm shaking up the beer can or whether I'm just wanting a simple transition forward. You'll also get to know your physical tone you will be able to discern. But you've got to keep that straight from the start. It's sort of hearkening back to our conversation about changing the bend, and the horse is mistakenly cantering when you change the bend on the serpentine, because they are the weight change alone is not the canter transition. The weight change with a vanishing inside rein is the canter transition. And as I've been thinking about this, it's also made me hearken back to the old freeway exercise. So we're going to be revisiting that too.